Many of us have encountered those who drain our energy, twist our words, or burden us with their chaos. You may have felt diminished, doubted your own reason, or struggled to maintain your peace amid their actions. This is not uncommon in relationships, be they with friends, family, or partners, where others take without giving, where their troubles become yours. Today, I offer you 8 practices, rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, to navigate such people. These are not weapons for battle, but tools to preserve your tranquility and reclaim what is yours, your mind. The Stoics understood that we cannot control others, only ourselves. As Epictetus said, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Let us begin. 1. Recognize what is. Observe their actions as you would a storm, persistent, loud, but not yours to command. Do they criticize endlessly, picking apart your words or deeds with unrelenting fault-finding? Do they shift blame, turning every misstep into your burden while evading their own? Do they demand your guilt, weaving tales of victimhood to bind you to their will? Note these patterns. As a philosopher notes the habits of nature, to recognize is not to feel, it is to understand. When you see their behavior for what it is, manipulation dressed as concern, blame cloaked as justice, or pleas designed to tether your soul, it loses its hold over your emotions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Clarity is the first step to detachment, the foundation of a tranquil spirit. Toxic people thrive in the shadows of confusion, where their words twist your reason, and their actions stir your passions. But like a storm, they pass through a world you do not govern. Step back and watch, the sharp remark meant to wound, the accusation flung to provoke, the sigh that begs your apology. These are not truths about you, but signs of their own unrest. To name them is to disarm them. Do not argue or resent, simply see. This is not a call to anger or despair, but to discernment. As you mark their ways without being moved, you reclaim the reins of your mind. No longer swayed by their chaos, you stand apart, rooted in reason. Recognition frees you not by changing them, impossible, but by illuminating what is theirs alone. In this light, your peace endures. 2. Accept it is not yours. When they lash out or twist the truth, consider, this is not about me. Their anger stems from their own unrest, their words from their own fears, tempests born of a troubled mind. Not your making. You are not the cause, nor the cure. Release the urge to take their conduct personally, and you free yourself from its weight. Epictetus taught, what need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. Their flaws are their burden, not a judgment of your worth. Observe how they rail against the world. Perhaps they shout to drown their doubts, or accuse to shift their shame. These are not arrows aimed at your soul, but echoes of their own discord. To accept this is to step beyond their reach. Too often, we bind ourselves to their chaos, wondering if we provoked it, if we failed them. But their storm is not your sky. You did not plant their bitterness, nor can you uproot it. Let go of the notion that their deeds reflect your value. Such thoughts are chains forged by illusion. Instead, see their actions as a mirror turned inward, revealing their struggles, not yours. This is not coldness, but clarity, not rejection, but release. When they hurl blame or weave lies, pause and ask, whose nature drives this? Not yours. In this understanding, you shed the guilt they offer, the doubt they sow. You stand apart, unshaken, for their turmoil is theirs to bear. Acceptance does not excuse them, it frees you. As you cease to carry what is not yours, your spirit lightens. Their words may linger, but their power fades. Thus, you reclaim your peace, rooted in what you command yourself. 3. Define your limits. Decide what you will accept and what you will not. If they demand your time or energy beyond reason, say, "This I cannot give." Offer no defense. Your choice needs no justification. Stand firm. As a tree bends but does not break, limits are not selfish, they are necessary. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Boundaries prevent imagined duties from ruling you, sparing you the torment of obligations never truly yours. Toxic people often press beyond what is fair, expecting your hours, your patience, your spirit, until you are worn thin by their claims. But your life is not their domain. Choose where your strength ends and their demands begin. Perhaps they ask for endless counsel, or interrupt your solitude with their woes, or expect you to bear their anger. Mark the line, "Here I stand. No further." Speak it plainly, "I will not engage," or "This is not mine to do," and let your words be stone, not sand. They may push, plead, or accuse, but you need not bend. To explain is to invite debate, to justify is to cede ground. Instead, hold your resolve as a Stoic holds virtue, unyielding yet calm. This is not cruelty, but care for your own soul. Without limits, their chaos seeps into your peace. Their weight crushes your reason. A tree that bends too far snaps, a mind stretched too thin falters. By defining what you will not bear, you guard your tranquility, ensuring it remains yours to tend. They may resent your firmness, but their feelings are not your charge. Your duty is to yourself, to live well, not to appease. In this act of restraint, you wield self-control, the truest power. Thus fortified, you endure, unshaken by their storms. 4. Refuse to be moved. When they provoke, pause. Let their words pass like wind through branches, heard, but not held. Reply, if you must, with "I see," or "I will consider it." Then turn away. They seek your agitation, give them nothing. In stillness, you retain your strength. Epictetus taught, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. Your response is yours alone, the one realm you command amidst their chaos. Toxic people thrive on your unrest. Each barb, each accusation, each plea is cast to stir your soul. They long for your anger, your tears, your surrender, for in your reaction lies their power. But you need not grant it. When they rail or taunt, stand as a rock stands against the tide, unmoved, not by force, but by choice. Feel the impulse to retort, to defend, to engage, and let it fade. Their words are noise, not truth, their drama, a play you need not join. A simple "I hear you" or a silent step aside suffices, neither fuel nor fight. This is not weakness, but mastery, not retreat, but refusal to be their pawn. They may grow louder, sharper, desperate for your crack, but your calm denies them victory. In stillness, you preserve your reason, your peace, your strength. To react is to hand them the reins, to pause is to hold them fast. Practice this, when the storm rises. Breathe, observe, release. Their tumult is theirs to wrestle, not yours to resolve. By refusing to be moved, you strip their words of weight, their actions of sway. What remains is your own will, steady and sovereign. Thus, you live as a Stoic, ruler of yourself, unshaken by what you cannot rule. 5. Withdraw your presence. If their company brings only discord, reduce it. Meet less often. Speak briefly, or step aside when their chaos rises. This is not flight, but wisdom. Your time and mind are yours to preserve, Spend them where they are honored, not squandered. Epictetus counseled, avoid those who disturb your peace. Distance is a rational choice, a deliberate act to safeguard your tranquility from those who erode it. Toxic people often fill the air with strife, endless complaints, sharp demands, or swirling turmoil that pulls you into their orbit. Their presence taxes your spirit, draining what could be given to better ends. Recognize this cost and weigh it, why linger where reason falters and calm dissolves. You owe them neither your hours nor your harmony. If a conversation sows unrest, end it with brevity, I must go, and depart. If their gatherings breed tension, attend less, or not at all. This is not cowardice, but clarity, not rejection, but respect for your own soul. They may protest, guilt weaving through their words, but their claims do not bind you. Your duty lies in living well, not in enduring ill. Withdrawal spares you the wear of their storms, letting you tend to what matters, your thoughts, your purpose, your peace. Consider a friend who drains, a kin who accuses, a voice that unsettles. Each moment with them is a choice. Choose less of it, fill that space with silence, or with those who lift rather than pull. Time is finite, your mind precious. To step away is to affirm their chaos is not your charge. In this, you honor the Stoic way, guarding what is yours, letting go what is not. Thus, you walk free, your tranquility intact, your strength renewed. 6. Seek the virtuous. Surround yourself with those who value your calm, who challenge you with kindness, not scorn. A friend who respects your limits strengthens your resolve. Toxic people thrive on isolation. A community of the wise dissolves their influence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We were born for cooperation. Good company reinforces reason, lifting you toward virtue when shadows press close. The virtuous are not flawless, but steady, those who speak with care, listen with intent, and honor your peace as you honor theirs. They do not drain or demand, they share a quiet strength that steadies your own. Consider who in your life meets you with patience, who questions you to grow, not to wound. These are the souls to seek." Toxic people, with their chaos and guile, often cut you from such bonds, sowing doubt in others to keep you tethered to their will. But isolation is their tool, not your fate. Step toward those who reflect the best in you, who mirror reason when your own wavers. A companion who nods at your no without grudge, who offers counsel without chains. These are rare, yet worth finding. They fortify your spirit, not by flattery, but by example. In their presence, the noise of toxicity fades, its grip weakens. You need not walk alone. The Stoics knew we thrive in kinship with the good. Seek them in small acts, share a thought with one who listens. Join a circle that values clarity over clamor. Such bonds are not mere comfort, but a bulwark against despair. Where toxic voices pull you down, the virtuous lift you to stand taller. This is no luxury, but necessity. A life aligned with reason requires company that echoes it. Thus, you grow, not in solitude, but in the gentle strength of the wise. 7. Tend to yourself. Guard your energy as a craftsman guards his tools. Rest when weary, reflect when troubled, and pursue what restores you. Say no without guilt, for your peace is no one's to claim. In caring for yourself, you build a citadel against their storms. Seneca advised, retire into yourself as much as you can. Self-care fortifies the soul, a deliberate act to preserve your resilience amid life's tempests. Toxic people draw relentlessly, your time, your strength, your calm, leaving you hollow if you yield too long. But your well-being is not theirs to harvest. Tend to it as a duty, not a luxury. When fatigue creeps in, pause, seek solitude or sleep, not their clamor. When doubt clouds your mind, sit with your thoughts, not their words. Let reason sift what's true. Pursue what lifts you, a walk, a book, a quiet hour, small acts that mend the spirit. To refuse their demands is not selfish, it is just. Say no with steady voice, I cannot. Or not now, and owe no explanation. Their needs do not outrank your own. This is the craftsman's care, a tool dulled by overuse cuts poorly. A soul drained by others falters. Build your strength instead, rest sharpens resolve. Reflection clears the fog. Joy renews purpose. Toxic storms will rage, their voices pressing for your surrender. But a tended self stands firm. This is no retreat from virtue, but its root. You cannot live well if you crumble. Seneca knew peace begins within. A fortress no chaos can breach. Deny them the power to exhaust you, and you rise whole. In this quiet tending, you honor your soul's worth, not as indulgence, but as the bedrock of a life well lived. Thus, you endure, unshaken, your tranquility your own. 8. Release or depart? If their harm lingers, release it, not for them, but for you. Resentment binds you, forgiveness cuts the chain. Yet if their presence remains a wound, depart. Walk away not in anger, but in resolve. As Epictetus said, if the room is smoky, leave. Your life is yours to live well. Marcus Aurelius taught, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Freedom lies in letting go or leaving, two paths to the same end, your peace. When their words or deeds fester, gnawing at your calm, pause. To clutch anger is to carry their burden, it weighs you, not them. Release it, not as pardon, but as refusal to be their captive. Picture their slight, their scorn, and let it drift, a cloud passing a steady sky. This is not weakness, but strength, not their victory, but yours. Yet some wounds persist, their nearness a smoke that chokes your breath. Here, departure is wisdom. If they twist your days into knots of pain, step away. Say enough, not in rage, but with quiet certainty, and go. No need for clash or curse, your absence speaks. They may cling, accuse, or mourn, but their hold is not your duty. Epictetus knew, stay not where reason suffocates. This choice demands courage, a break from habit or hope, but it frees you to live as you ought, clear-eyed, unburdened. Whether you forgive or leave, the aim is the same, to be unlike them, to rise above their mire. Resentment chains you to their flaws, walking away cuts the tether. Both are acts of will, not whim. In release, you shed their shadow, in departure, you reclaim your light. Thus, you stand, dignified, your life your own, governed by virtue alone. Dealing with those who disrupt your peace is a test of reason, not a war of wills. These 8 practices, recognizing what is, accepting what is not yours, defining limits, refusing to be moved, withdrawing presence, seeking the virtuous, tending to yourself, and releasing or departing, are your means to remain whole. The Stoics taught that virtue is our highest good, and tranquility its reward. You cannot change the toxic, but you can rise above them. Focus on what you command, your thoughts, your actions, your peace, and let the rest fall away. If this speaks to you, consider joining others who seek this path. Together, we can live by reason, not by others' chaos.